2 years ago, a homestead dream was planted in my heart. But I don't think I'm dreaming alone. I think that there are many of us from varied backgrounds, currently tucked in or around cities and beltways, that feel called to live rooted to smaller communities, our food, and the land. But like me, you probably have your feet on both sides of the grass, balancing a career by day, which I largely enjoy, but also called to dig your hands in the dirt or dough at night, learning homestead skills to soothe a restless mind. A while back, my husband and I felt at peace on a trip to the Blue Ridge Mountains. We enjoyed waking up to fresh-tasting eggs gathered a few steps away from the chicken coop, the seclusion of trees being our nearest neighbors, and cool, calm nights around the fire pit. The good news is that you don't need hundreds of acres to start cultivating a homestead mentality, because there are many homesteading skills that don't require land at all. In this video, I'll share 11 beginner-friendly homestead in the city projects my pioneering spirit completed, yes, in a townhouse, ranging from ways to preserve basil and lavender, recipes to stock your herbal medicine cabinet, raising a worm farm, and much more. Visit my channel page for full tutorials. All right, let's start out in the garden. My lavender plant did especially well this season, and I'm very much looking forward to showing you an easy way to preserve your lavender by making lavender honey. It infuses its fragrant flavor into the honey, which makes it shelf-stable once the herbs are strained. Lavender honey is delicious in warm tea, on biscuits, scones, yogurt, fruit, and as a cough syrup. My basil plants also did well this year, and I've lost count of how many times I've pruned my plants and how many quart-sized bags of pesto I have stuffed in the freezer. I wanted a shelf-stable option, but dehydrated basil, in my opinion, just loses its punch. But you know one way that keeps that basil vibrancy? Basil salt. It's simple enough to make and complements a variety of vegetables and meats. Keep watching to see how I used it for one weeknight meal. I've repurposed 3 trash bins as my compost system. A large bin keeps the compost scraps, while the other 2 bins keep nitrogen-based materials like grass cuttings, and the third bin keeps leaves for carbon. As the leaves start to fall, I wanted to create an easy setup to winterize my fall compost. My lemon balm loves this spot in the garden. As part of my fall preps, I decided to make a ginger and lemon balm syrup that helps fight cold and flu symptoms. I have the full recipe in a separate video. Stay tuned for a second herbal medicine recipe I'll share in just a bit. While I wait for my farm, I love supporting my county's local growers by visiting the farmers market weekly. I canned my own applesauce and fresh corn, which are some of my favorite pantry treats. Aside from one small in-ground bed, I'm mostly a container gardener and I'm growing in about 35 to 7 gallon pots. This year I added fabric grow bags and I've enjoyed them, so I figured why not try to make them? Turns out you can eyeball it easily enough and even a beginner sower like me can do it. Did I ever think I'd become a worm farmer this year? No. But in an attempt to understand the best growing conditions for my crops and maintaining organic gardening practices as much as possible, it became clear vermiculture would be my best option. These are my livestock I purchased 2 months ago, and they are growing so nicely and starting to lay eggs. While I have clothes I don't mind getting dirty while I'm completing yard, garden, or building projects, they aren't the durable fabric I need to provide both comfort and protection for the long haul. I was pleasantly surprised to find Stanley workwear on clearance right before the fall season for a total pants and jacket price of $16. Canning jars have been especially hard to come by this year, that is if you're looking in stores. I found over 80 canning jars secondhand on Facebook Marketplace. I can't wait to put these to good use. While I usually purchase my starts at the farmer's market, this fall season I decided to start my garden from seed, and so far my seedlings are doing well. And no, I haven't forgotten about our second herbal remedy. It's coming right up after this, and it's a health tonic you can take daily. I have a separate video sharing my fire cider recipe, but basically it's a vinegar infusion packed full of powerful antibacterial and antifungal properties. It's shelf stable but needs a few weeks to steep, making early fall the perfect time to start your brew. To get more homesteading in the city tips, please be sure to click subscribe and turn on notifications. I post weekly around my home, kitchen, and garden. I'd love to know if you're a homestead dreamer too. If so, I can't wait to meet you in the comments section.